Okay, everybody, I told y'all not to go far, and I hope you didn't, but I hope you had a lovely little stretch or refill your drink or whatever you're doing to get cozy, because we are ready for Ratchet and Clank New Game Plus with Marathon Man. Y'all, let's ratchet this thing up. Let's keep the hype going. Take it away.
Let's ratchet this thing up might be my favorite way anyone's ever transitioned into this game. Hello. My name is Marathon Man, and as we said, we're going to be playing Ratchet and Clank New Game Plus today, in benefit of my dear friend Alice at Wonderland Games, who I've known at this point, I think, almost 5 years. If you've never played Ratchet and Clank, this game in particular, this category in particular, very fast, lot going on. I would like to think a great segue coming off of the back of Titanfall 2, in my opinion, one of the best speed games ever. So, I'm gonna go ahead and load our file, and then I will count you down from 3, and then the run can begin. All right? So, 3, 2, 1. All right, so in preparation for this, Frost, I believe, 28,000 attempts in this category, and I would be willing to bet at least half of them die on the first planet. We didn't die, so off to a great start.
Yeah!
It's going to be kind of a reoccurring theme that the goal is to get a lot of momentum really fast and then preserve that as much as we can over the stretch of all these planets. So right now I'm using a weapon called the Walloper, which is this like punching glove, and you can interrupt the punch with a in-level moving and then carry it into a whole bunch of other movement. So you see we're doing a lot of that now, and like side flipping out of it, and I don't think I made it onto the elevator. I did not. That's okay. You want to try and get on the elevator as that cutscene plays because you can't move, and then you'll be at your right back at the ship, but that's fine. These first 3 planets in particular are really, really fast, and there's a lot going on. This third planet, we're going to buy our first upgrade to Clank, which is the helipack, which is going to give us the majority of the movement that we're going to see throughout the run. So, just got to make our way over. And there's all kinds of timings to be aware of when using all the different gadgets in this game. You just saw there, I used the PDA for the first time. The PDA is hilarious because it is supposed to be like a novelty, like, oh yeah, you can just buy ammo wherever you want, but as far as a speedrun goes, you can do so much with it. So you're gonna see here, I'm side flipping in the air with it. You can kind of just like suspend him in air and carry it into all sorts of other things. You just saw a PDA stopped there, so I halted him for a second, and then you can continue with other movement. Now, like I said, we're talking about momentum preservation. I'm trying to carry as much speed as I can through that elevator. A lot happening. So this is the first, like... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I'm watching like the PDA screen pop up repeatedly, and you're just...
Yep.
You're abusing that thing.
Oh, yeah. So this is the first, like, big sequence break of the run, so... I entered the train cutscene there, and I purposefully landed in a spot to where one of the troopers is going to shoot at me, and that's going to interrupt. You're normally stuck in a standstill there, but being shot will interrupt that, and then you can move on that train while the cutscene's playing. And it's really hard to see Ratchet on there, so you kind of have to just follow that green trail as best you can. Alright. Pretty good first 3 planets, like I said. I think 28,000 attempts, and more than half of them die in the first 3 planets. It's really fast, but we're off to a good start.
I cannot believe you've just done 3 planets in what feels like a literal hiccup. That's less than 5 minutes. It's like almost 3 minutes. That's
Yeah.
wild. Let
Even
me just go through
funnier,
these real quick.
even funnier is we just did an entire planet in the space of that one sentence.
Oh my god. How many planets are there in this game? Like, is this just gonna be the
Uh,
case?
I believe there are 18 in total, and it's on average hovering around a 20-minute run. So
No way. That is, you weren't kidding that you're gonna be zooming through these.
oh yeah.
You were not kidding. God. Okay. By the way, y'all, that means that if you want to do something for that Jet Set Radio Future skin bid war, um, you heard Marathon Man, we're gonna be zooming. So you don't have too much time to influence that bid war because it's got to be done before Jet Set Radio Future starts.
I would like to say as well, I think Titanfall 2, Ratchet and Clank, and Jet Set Radio Future might be the best uh, back-to-back-to-back opening trio of marathon runs I've ever seen.
It's really fun. I mean, I'm having fun. I'm biased because I'm here, but I don't think I'm that biased because it's a really fun pairing going on right now.
Absolutely. Okay, so these next 3 planets are probably the most difficult in the entire run. The first 2 are going to revolve around a really goofy trick that I'm not going to bother to explain. I'll just let it speak for itself.
What is happening? Oh my god. I'm sorry, I just sat in silence watching that. Like, what?
So, certain surfaces in this game have a weird property to where you can basically just constantly be chaining together long jumps and side flips back to back to back to back over and over and over and gain a lot of speed, a lot of distance. And from a technical standpoint, you're fluttering R1, R2, and direction, and all sorts of buttons. And it's a very precise rhythm that you have to follow. And if you drop any input at all, the whole thing gets eaten. So thankfully that didn't happen. And like I said, it's going to be used all throughout these these 2 planets here. You go straight to the end.
This is wild.
It's probably
Unhinged.
the most unique thing about Ratchet and Clank 1 in particular as a speed game. This planet here, Battalion, is probably the single hardest. It revolves around 2 chains to get 2 different info buffs. And they can be a lot.
You're making this look very, very, like, you're just breezing through this. Very casual, very normal, very nonchalant. But I think that's, 28,000 attempts might do that for you.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I did fail the second one there. I paused a little too early, but that's okay. Thankfully, of course.
All right, I have $15 from Captain Gallant that says, "Have fun, Mr. Man."
Thank you, Gallant. Thankfully, this whole planet, there's lots of open space, so if you do fail a chain, you can start a new one pretty quickly. Alright, and with the first 8, I believe, planets of the run, of 18, we can take a nice breather. Because those are definitely the most difficult. And now, in the middle, there's a couple easier planets, I would say. A few more relaxed runs. You just did the back-to-back-to-back 3 most difficult, and now this is actually the only planet in the game where we play as Clank, which is kind of cool. And
is
we
there
have
Clank-specific movement that is different?
I'm glad you asked, because we're about to do my favorite trick in the run, the big Clank jump, which looks beautiful. and it's just a little bit faster to get over that big fence there.
As opposed to going around, because he does not seem to move very fast on the ground.
Nope.
Alright, well, I guess bye, Clank. You'll be back to helping us the rest of the time.
He's on backpack duty for most of the game.
I gotta give him credit. I mean, I know he's a robot, but like motion sickness would be the death of me personally if I was being pulled backward at like a billion miles an hour. Like,
Yeah.
while Ratchet flies around like this, I wouldn't have a good time. So, thanks, Clank, for taking that on.
Okay, so it's time to introduce a character very, very near and dear to my heart. If my appearance today didn't give it away. He has one line in the whole run, so I'll let him take it away. This is the guy. That is his official name. First name the, last name guy. And he owns this very nice resort that is currently being invaded. So we're gonna help him out a little bit. He has I mean, just look at him. He's got the shirt. He's got the hair.
He's got the drip.
He's ready to go.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why you're wearing what you're wearing. And y'all, thank you so much for meeting that incentive. We love a matching moment. We love a fashion moment.
We do. Actually, a funny story about that. If you look behind me, you can see on my bed there is a big white robe. That is because I was actually planning on wearing something, a different like costume sort of thing before I heard come out of my headphones that the guy incentive had been met, and I went, oh wait a minute, I forgot all about that. So
amazing.
Unfortunately, the robe it'll be for another time.
Hey, that just means more opportunities to watch this in the future.
Exactly.
So, I don't think that's a hard sell.
Besides, I like wearing this shirt anyway. It's funny because it started as just like a Halloween sort of like, hey, I'll do this once. It'll be fun. And now it's become a...
Like a thing of its own.
Yeah.
By the way, chat is describing what the guy has as not a comb over, but a comb around.
Yeah, if you look, I don't know how well we're going to be able to see it, but his hair goes like behind his head, like it does comb under his head. Very bizarre. I don't know where he came up with that one.
The bandana at first, and then when you said hair, I was like, oh really?
We're here.
But it is. He's got a hairstyle.
He's got something, all right. So now that we've escorted him over here, we can use this this plane that they just happen to have, just, you know, in case of a rainy day. And with these tankers here, it is definitely a rainy day of some sort.
Yeah, raining something. It might be explosion like ship parts and shrapnel with the way that you're chewing through it, but that makes sense. By the way, do you have time for another quick donation? I have a little update. Okay, so we have $17 from Nick Astalos that says, Nick the Goat, Alice the Goat. So thank you so much for that. By the way, we are in fact at $205 raised for Alice right now. So thank you so much, everybody, for that. And $5 from Symphony saying, good luck, Mr. Man.
Thank you both. Thank you everyone who has donated so far. Okay, so we're coming up to some more difficult planets. This one in particular also revolves around one giant chain. There's no checkpoint, so if I die, that'd be awful, so I'll just try not to die. Well, I'll die at the beginning here where there's not much penalty. But this planet revolves around. We have to move this infobot, this little. You can kind of see him in the background there. To 7 different locations, and so these are the first 3, and then these last couple are all like very close together, thankfully.
He's like, I can't keep up.
He's trying his best. We're playing a very funny game of hide and seek, and he's trying his best to keep up, but after 28,000 attempts, I'd like to think he's not doing a good job of hiding anything.
No. I think you might have him. I think you might have him beat. By the way, y'all, 205 raised for Alice at Wonderland means that we are less than 300 away from that Kirby and the amazing mirror incentive right now. And remember that we are zooming through this run right now. So if you want to know about that Ratchet and Clank bid war and you want to change some things, first of all, not Ratchet and Clank, oh my gosh, Jet Set Radio. I'm looking at Ratchet and Clank. I'm just really hyped about it and it's taking over my brain. If you want to change the tide on that Jet Set Radio future bid war, right now, Jet Set Radio skin is in the lead for Gum, but it's only about $1 difference. So if you want to see the Jet Set Radio future skin, you got to do that pretty quick. Because we're schmoving. We're moving through this real quick.
We are. We are also at the... So I've mentioned, like, oh, this is the hardest planet. This has, you know, all this crazy movement and this big trick and all that. But this is the worst planet in the run. And very infamously documented in a 30-minute YouTube video made by my good friend, the Rickster. You have to enter the turret from underneath, and as you saw, it had a bit of trouble doing so. But this ship fight is also just... It can feel very random. It has these 5 sections, and at the very top, like, there are these tiny points that give extra damage. And so... but they're really hard to hit, and also the ship bobs up and down, so even if you find them, it's always moving on you. I may or may not make a cameo in said 30-minute video with a very infamous line, "It do," in regards to a comment that was made about it being not fun.
Love that.
I do.
So we are coming up to the final 5 planets. This is the especially after that last planet, this is kind of like the home stretch.
Hello.
Y'all know what that means, though, for that Jet Set Radio future bid war. It's gonna be done before you know it. Consider this the start of your last call.
I should also point out that this planet has the giant, like, climactic boss fight against Captain Quark that, like, the whole story has been building up to at this point, and you know, we haven't been paying that much attention to the story. It's a speedrun, and with that in mind, we're also not fighting the boss, because for some reason, if you get to the end like that, the game's like, well, I guess he's done. And so you can skip right past it. This planet's also normally really long, but you can just use the PDA and get over to the end.
All that was standing between us and the end was one singular wall.
One wall.
You know, I don't know that they thought that one through.
There's actually several ways to get over that wall that don't require the PDA, which is funny. I feel like just a second ago, literally, I was saying that there were 5 planets left, and we're already down to 3.
We're just counting down. This is like... this is literally like end of run. Like, all right, we'll be done in, but like way faster than you think it's gonna come up. jump, but you know what this means. How do we donate to this bid war? So make sure, I just want to point out that I see that in chat. When you type !donate and you choose that, and you open that donation link, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you will see like add incentives, and you select your incentive in there. Now make sure when you're doing that you not only click on the incentive, but you like click, there's going to be like a little like populate button or like add funds basically. Make sure you are selecting that, and that's how your money goes towards this bid war. So it is a little bit of a process to do it, but I know you can do it. I believe in you. And I'm sure while I've been talking, you've crushed another planet. I'm sure.
Oh, maybe.
This run is just like destroyer of planets.
It's actually funny you say that because the like objective of this planet is to find out about an object called, I think it might be called the Planet Destroyer or Planet Buster, one of the two.
Oh, so I'm a little too accurate. Understood.
All right, the final planet.
Ooh, we down to it.
And speaking of skipping boss fights, a unique thing about New Game Plus and about playing on PlayStation 3 in particular, which we are, the way that PlayStation 3 would load files, if you beat the final boss on a different file and then load another file, the boss is still beaten. Because the game ends when you push a button after beating said boss, so if you beat the boss and don't push the button's still up.
This really is last call for those Jet Set donations, because we're in the final area. Let's make it happen. I believe in you. Or you could let just regular Jet Set Radio Gum take the prize. You could do that if you want, or you could clink it, or you could just make it so that. What if a tie, though? Like, what if a tie? What do we do with a tie? Somebody tie it. Start some drama.
A bonus run, maybe?
Yeah, one of each. I like your thinking, because that means more marathon.
Any reason to listen to the Jet Set Radio Future soundtrack for longer. Okay, so we are coming up to the end. As we see that the Planet Destroyer is facing up, the boss is nowhere to be found. And when I hit this button, time.
GG. I literally hiccuped and you're done. Like, good God, that was wild. That was a really good face.
Yeah, these runs are very fast, and
wow.
I think that is the appeal to even if you've never played this game before and just watching it, I think it really does speak for itself.
It does. Like, you just shot Clank, through that. This is wild.
Pull us up now.
And this is also like
in my arm.
my first exposure to original Ratchet and Clank. So like,
as in fall to our deaths.
This broken. I've been on an emotional journey in the past 20 minutes. That's what I'll tell you right now. I got some love coming in for you from chat, by the way. Everybody hyping you up, saying great job. So chat loved this just as much as I loved seeing this. Yeah, is there anybody that you want to shout out?
Oh my goodness. I mean, just a few names that come to mind of people coming up. I know Jaxler has a run somewhere in. Shout out. I know Violin has I think a Kingdom Hearts 3 showcase coming up. There's all the Sly runs on the last day. I know Stevens is going. A few others. So many people. There's so many great runs coming up. We've talked a lot about Jet Set Radio Future. That game's very near and dear to my heart.
Where do you think you're going?
Just the whole Ratchet and Clank speedrunning community, everyone who believed in me when there was no reason to, everyone that's helped me get to this particular moment, you know. I just wrapped up running this game for SGDQ a few months ago. That was a big deal for me. And yeah, and of course, Alice herself, who, like I said, has been a close friend of mine for about 5 years now.
Amazing. We're so lucky to be raising money for an incredible person. And thank you so much for being a part of that and showing
Of
off this
course.
awesome, awesome game. Where can we find you?
You can find me twitch.tv/marathonman. I stream pretty much every day. You can find me on Twitter at marathonmanprod, which is short for production, but they won't let me put the whole thing in. YouTube at marathonman speedruns. I think that just about covers it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for showing this off and being part of what people are calling like like you said, like the combination of these first 3 games is just utterly brilliant, an amazing way to start the marathon. So thank you so much for being a part of that and crushing this.
Thank you all for having me.
Of course. All right, everybody, we are going to keep it moving. We are going to keep the good times a-rolling. That does mean, though, that we are closing that Jet Set Radio bid war in just a minute. So while we get set up for this next run, do not go too far. Let's make that bid war spicy. I want to make our next host's job a little like difficult, and let's like tie that bid war before your next host hops on, so that they have to figure out what's going on. I don't know. I think it's fun to start a little drama. And thank you for raising $205 so far for Alice at Wonderland Games, y'all. You have been crushing the incentives today. And I know that you can keep going. Reminder that while we do have this bid war open, we also have a milestone for Kirby and the Amazing Mirror later in the day. We got to raise $500 by the end of that game. Like overall, not like $500 from this point. Like we have less than 300 to go now to get this boss endurance. So like there's boss rush and then there's boss endurance. So it's going to be 13 bosses back to back to back. Beam Queen Soul is going to crush all of them. We know it. We want to see it. You got to make this happen. JPEG caused chaos? No, never. Yeah, that's never happened once. Mm-mm. I've never been contrarian for fun once in my life. But what I am being like full chest, like in support of, is what we are here to do, which is this is a speedrunning marathon for mutual aid, benefiting our wonderful friend Alice as she prepares for gender-affirming surgery in February 2025. We're going to be live on this channel right here, where you are, every day from Wednesday, October 16th through Sunday, October 20th. And stay tuned to see some amazing runs. And if you'd like to see our full schedule, which we've been talking about, you can type !schedule in chat. Also, if you'd like to donate, you can type !donate in chat, or you can scan that super cool QR code that's floating across your screen. Uh-oh, I think I may have manifested something. Let's take a look. Yeah! Okay, let's see. $1 from Twinkachu saying, yeah, okay, I'll tie the bid war. Let's go, Miku! Okay, so let me just confirm that, but I am pretty sure that absolutely did do that. So our bid war for Jet Set Radio may be tied right now. So what are we gonna do about that, y'all? What are we gonna do? What are we, like, we gotta figure this out. But, you know, you could figure it out. Or you could keep donating to keep, like, tying it. I think that would be really funny if everybody, like, banded together. And just like made it stay tied. That would be awesome. And thank you so much for your donation, regardless of assisting me in my contrarian ways in tying a bid war, which is like my new favorite thing to do. Thank you so much for donating towards Alice as well. So thank you so much for that. All right, my friends, as we are pumping along here, we're keeping rolling. I want to know what runs you are most excited for this week. We've got the whole world ahead of us of things that you could be watching, adoring, and loving. I personally am having a hard time picking. I can't pick. I promise that I'll say it correctly this time. Like, I am excited for that Wolfenstein run. I don't know why I said it the last time, but I know Anarchy is an amazing runner and is absolutely going to crush that. So it's going to be super, super good. I'm excited later today. It Takes Two runs are so impressive with cooperation. So that's going to be amazing. There is going to be a dog later in the week, but we've also got, you know, things like Shadow of the Colossus with Ruby Heart is going to be on Friday. That to me is like an all-timer classic. Ruby's energy on that is so good. The game is so good. You know that's going to be a good time. We've got a Wii Sports run that we're doing. So I know people get like really jazzed about Wii Sports, myself included. That's going to be amazing. Crypt Custodian is going to be coming up. And, well, coming up, but I mean, it's going to be on Friday. And that's like a super new game. So that has not had, I don't think, a lot of marathon play. And you're going to love it. You're going to fall in love with the game. I promise you that. And then I love the fact that we're ending the marathon with like the Sly Cooper block that, you know, it's Sly Cooper, Sly Cooper, Sly Cooper. And then we're ending with Alice at Wonderland Games doing the final run, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoon. And like that, this is for Alice. So what like a beautiful cap off of like Sly Cooper block into Alice doing her thing. Kind of like a victory lap at the end of this amazing marathon that we're doing all this for her, so we get to celebrate her right at the end, and I think that that's really, really cool. How often at a marathon do you get to see like the recipient of the funds come on and do a run and be like present and be involved in stuff like that? So like, what a cool opportunity that we have here. Do have an update on that bid war though, y'all. It is no longer tied or even close to tied right now. Because right now, Jet Set Radio Gum is now in the lead with $21, while Jet Set Radio Future is down at $5. So the lead has grown for Jet Set Radio Gum. So we were tied for a minute, but now Original Outfit Gum is in the lead again. Seems like people really, really like that one. And again, that went towards our Kirby and the Amazing Mirror incentive. So y'all are making these deals happen. By the way, I know that like right now we have like the Fall Guys theme playing, so like yeah, that's a bop in itself. But I also want to shout out that like all the music this morning has been straight bangers. Like the ones that I've heard, I think it's been like some of the hypest music I've heard at a marathon. So shout out to that. I'm gonna be so real. I don't know who came up with this playlist, but great choices you have made all morning. It has kept me awake and hyped, and it seems like y'all in chat are super hyped as well. We love some morning vibes. I mean, okay. I know I say that, and looking at my clock, it means that on like East Coast US, it is in fact lunchtime. But it's morning time for me still. So I get to say that. Just a reminder, we are setting up for that Jet Set Radio Future run right now. It is coming up in just a little bit. So we do have that bid war open right now that will be closing before that run goes. So think of every minute right now while we're setting up as like your last minute, last call to do these donations. Because we're just tying up all the loose ends on this one in the background. And you never know. You never know when could be your last second to donate and change the tide of this bid war. Okay, everybody. While I'm having a phenomenal time here with y'all, it is time for me to step away so that your next host can come in. So I've had a phenomenal time. My name is JPEG. You can catch me tomorrow morning, opening tomorrow morning as well. We'll be starting with Ratatouille. So if you want to catch me there, hang out, you got me. You'll get me back, don't worry. And for the moment, I want to pass it over to a phenomenally talented host. You are in such good hands with Clockwork Ophelia. She's going to take you through the next couple games, and you're going to have a great time. So give your love, give your hype, give your donations. Let's make it happen, y'all. I will see you soon.
Well, hello, everybody. Hello there. Thank you, JPEG. You are awesome. I want to let y'all know, give your love up for JPEG. She is one fantastic host and opened up this wonderful marathon for us. I am Clockwork Ophelia. I'm so happy to be here for you, and I am super excited for our next runs. I do want to get in those donos that got that Jet Set Radio Future bid war a little bit more in the lead. So we did get a $5 dono from Miku DS that just says gum, which I believe would be going to the gum costume. I also have a $10 donation from 7th Ace, which just says, shout out to DAF7. Now, I'm really excited for this run, but I also just want to tell y'all a little bit about why we're here before we get into everything. Now, we are raising money to help the costs of Alice's gender-affirming surgery in February 2025. The costs of surgery can be very high when you factor in things like hospital stay, travel, life accommodations that one needs while healing up from such a large procedure. If you would like to help Alice out, type !donate in chat. So I'd also like to say why gender affirming surgery matters, because research consistently shows that people who choose gender affirmation surgery experienced reduced gender incongruence and improved quality of life. It can provide long-term mental health benefits too. Studies consistently show that gender affirmation surgery reduces gender dysphoria and related conditions like anxiety and depression. So I am so happy to be here supporting Alice and supporting this wonderful, wonderful cause. And y'all should be super excited about that too. Y'all know exactly where your donations are going. Now, we are going to be getting into our next run shortly. I am super excited for this. Jet Set Radio Future is such a awesome, awesome game. And we do have